Welcome to Redundant Opinions, where the thing you need most on the internet is another two straight white guys thinking that they're right about the world. Welcome in. My name is Kochi, this is Cami, and today on episode 4, we're going to be talking about the new streaming platform called Kick, ElonGated Muskrat and the unsocialing of social media, the game reward results, and just a general reflection on 2022 as a whole, because it's been a year. If you find yourself coming back on the regular, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like the thing, and all of that fun stuff. And make sure you subscribe to Cami as well, because I've heard he's pretty cool. How you going, Cami?
I'm good. I don't know where these cool comments have come from. I think I need to deal with those as fast as I fucking can. But anyway, I need to silence some people. I'm good. I am tired. I am wrecked. It's the silly season, and boy, has it been silly.
Yes.
I just have come off of a 2-night bender. Between two different friend groups, and the second one got the worst version of me, so I feel bad for them.
Very crunchy.
Look, 14-year-old boy style crunchy, but anyway, it was not a good time. Very, very tired, and obviously had to go back to fucking work because, that's what we do now. So, Yeah, I'm tired, but life is still swell, my friend. How are you?
Good. We're syncing up too well at the moment, because I was just in Melbourne for a weekend to see a friend, and then we just had random catch-ups with friends, ended up turning into like a gaming bar crawl in Melbourne. So went to Bartronica, went to GG Easy, and it's amazing how good those venues are when it's not a PAX weekend.
Yep, I knew you were going to say that just then. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like, we walked into GG Easy, I think it was about 6 o'clock or something on a Saturday.
And the best part is, I was going to say, the best part is you would have been able to walk in, just straight up. Yep.
We walked in, we got our own table, then we were like, oh, maybe not this table because we got a few people. Let's go to another table, and we could just choose another table. And then we're just like chatting with the bar staff and just having a really good time. So
and I'm sure you could hear each other too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We could choose the games up on the screens. We couldn't pick like who were the streamers. We couldn't pick who the streamers were that we could put up. We were like, oh, who do we put up? Someone of our channels or something. But no, they were like, we don't do that anymore because people do TOS stuff. But they have like, oh, you want to just watch some Valorant or something? It's kind of like a sports bar vibe where you can like just pick the sport that you want to watch, and they'll have something for you.
Which is pretty cool. Pretty bloody cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was really good. But I was super tired as well. So I was out until 4 a.m. from that, and then woke up at 8, had to check out of my hotel at 10, and then my flight wasn't until 9 p.m. that night to come back yesterday. So and then I had to drive for an hour from the Gold Coast to get, because it was cheaper than flying from Brizzy. But I got home at midnight. So yeah.
How the fuck did you drive home? Like, that's a real question. How the fuck did you get home?
Activate cruise control. My car has automatic center laning technology. I slept most of the... No, I'm kidding.
Kochi actually doesn't know how he got home. Like, he's just...
It's a blur. I got enough C's on the plane. You get the head wobbles. I picked a window seat because I knew, I was like, if I get a middle seat, I'm going to rest my head on someone's shoulder.
Really get to know someone quite well at that point.
Yeah, exactly. And so I just had to, I could just feel it every single time.
Yep. Head feeling heavy. Yep.
Head love that. Feeling very heavy. But other than that, it was good. So it was good to catch up with some people I hadn't seen since before COVID, actually, because they couldn't go to this PAX because they were off having a kid. The weirdos. I think that's a pretty good excuse, though. Yeah, like out of excuses.
No, it's not. No. You're gonna deliver that bitch in the PAX show floor.
Exactly, and then leave it there, and then go back to the floor.
Keep gaming. Exactly right. Final Fantasy ain't gonna play itself, boy. Come on.
I got lines to stand in.
I got gamer sweat to smell. Come on.
That is pungent.
Pungent's never shower, Kings. Never shower.
Oh man, I don't think it was too bad, but I can't remember really. I think it was horrible.
I burnt the memory out of my. I think I just burnt the memory out of my brain, to be honest with you.
My sensory glands have been repressing a lot.
yeah, exactly right. Anyway,
yeah. I was trying to find a segue there, but I can't, so I'm just going to just say that we couldn't find one, and now we're going to go talk about another social media platform. The we went, obviously, the last couple of episodes, we've been talking about Gamer Network and the debacles from there, which is now dead and buried, and it's been fun. Which is perfect. We were asking for the next, what's the next company to do something? We were thinking things in tech. We were thinking Microsoft. Well, Microsoft already tried, but like Apple or Discord or something like that. Apparently not. We were completely off base because, it looks like there's a new one that's popped up that was been promoted by train wrecks of Twitch TV fame.
The good old platform known as Kick.
Kick.com.
Which, is quite an interesting platform. You've got Trainwreck's obviously coming out and supporting it straight away, which we knew he was shopping around after the recent gambling bans on the Twitch platform, which, let's be real, I think we all can admit had to happen. Because, unregulated gambling and unregulated promotion of gambling is a very dangerous path to walk down.
Yes.
I don't care what anyone says. That is a fucking scummy thing to do, especially in the way in which these platforms are promoted, where there's obviously skewed, results in favor of the promotion to entice people to come on through and make them pay all their money. Their house always wins. That is how Vegas is still standing.
Yeah, exactly. It's not about you.
No, it's not. Which is what I find really interesting about this, because they are promising splits of 95% to the creator for subs, I believe, or their equivalent of.
Yes.
As well as 100% of all tips made on Kick called kicks will go to the streamer. Same day withdrawal.
That's a good terminology. I like it.
Yeah, I'm liking where they're going with this. It's really, really cool. But it's another one of these. Look, Kick obviously is there, and it's a thing. It's one step ahead of the Gamer Network. It exists.
It actually exists, so it's a step up.
Yeah,
so
we're actually there. It is a streaming platform.
Have they got a merch store? Hang on, I need to go find it. They don't have a merch store.
How else are they going to fund these cool features, Koshi? Actually, we'll tell you why shortly.
Yeah.
But anyway,
they've got that covered. Don't worry about it.
Oh, fucking oath they do. But is it another one of these platforms that's too good to be true? Koshi, I ask you that question.
And I don't think so, which is probably a bit of a weird take, because I think it needs a company like this to get off the ground. And they did say, as dumb as Trainwrecks is, and how I don't like his content, he's still a pretty smart person. He's just an idiot. I don't know how dumb that sounds.
He's a businessman, but he's
really thinking about the money and things like that. So he's smart that way. So this is definitely a good move, especially when most of his content is from the gambling side of things. Have we mentioned who's leading the charge here yet? I don't think we have. So
no. Just to dive in here quickly, guys. Kick.com is owned by EasyGo and Stake, which Stake, at least I know, is an offshore gambling company. And look, I know when this announcement took place, there was a lot of talk about it online. I haven't actually looked into it that much myself yet, but I do know there's a couple of question marks over this company's head and over this platform's head. You had people of the likes of Harris Heller coming out and saying this is one of those things that sounds too good to be true. And like, the fact that there is a legitimate platform out there with this kind of split is amazing. It's good to see competition coming out. In saying that, though,
there is a reason it's like that.
Exactly. It's because the house that's funding this is always winning in other ways.
Yeah.
And
it's to get you into their network. It's like Amazon buying Twitch. That's why I'm like, it's probably a legitimate case here. And they said, look, it'll take a year to build to where it needs to be. They've got realistic goals set in mind. They've got a actual employees. Amazing, I know.
Funny how companies work. Anyway,
it's business, but it's scummy business, and that's the only. I have a problem with that, obviously, and it's not something I'm ever going to. But if you were looking for legitimacy of platform, it's definitely got it. It's just shitty legitimacy. So it's still a step in the right direction.
I've just jumped on kick.com and I've done it in a non-private window, so I'm going to have to purge my browser history after this. But so I'm just looking at the top live categories right now, and this is outside of prime time, mind you, so I'll take this with a grain of salt. You've got Overwatch 2, 13 viewers, music 15 viewers, GTA RP 26, Call of Duty 27. It then jumps up to other TV shows and movies, so basically supporting of stolen copyrighted content to a certain extent, 96 viewers. And then slots, 1,109
The top
viewers.
3 channels, as in the top 3 live channels right now, are slots, and then League of Legends.
Yep.
But then slots, Valorant. Yeah.
And that's
and then watching Futurama.
And that is the problem I take with this platform.
Yeah.
It is very much this platform is a gambling website promotion scheme.
Pretty much.
It exists solely to promote all of the gambling sites in which this takes place on. I guarantee you every advertisement you'll see on this platform will be for gambling, which is...
Again, that's the thing. Yeah. I get it. It's legitimate, though, but it's still scummy.
It's scummy as shit.
And it's just so obvious with what it's promoting.
Yeah, there's a market for it, and the biggest problem I take with it, and mind you, I haven't even logged in, so clearly it's not looking for age or anything like that. It's not like an 18 plus website only, right? Like there's clearly like, I'm just going to try and view a slot channel not logged in right now, and I'm willing to guarantee by confirming. There you go. By watching this, you confirm you're over the age of 18, so you can just fucking click start watching and start watching this straight away.
Yep.
If a big streamer comes to this platform looking for that better sub revenue, which, let's be real, who isn't?
Yep.
If they've got younger audiences, straight away susceptible to gambling. And I get it. Like, there is some onus on the, like, I guess on parents and on the create and on the
How much money is a 7-year-old making? None. But is the parents going to give them the credit card? It's like, well, you're going to buy V-Bucks or slot gambling things.
It brings up that age-old argument of, nature versus nurture. Is it up to the responsibility of the parents to not let the kid watch it? Is it up to the kid to learn that this is bad, or is it up to the streamer to nurture sort of, the mentality of, this is not what you should be spending your money on if you're not loaded already, like shit like that. So I don't know. Yeah, I get it. Competition is good, and I feel bad, right? Because literally in the last podcast, I was all about like, we need competition for this platform, but here I am going, but no, fuck, not like that.
That's a meme right there. It's like, yes, we do need competition. Wait, no, no, stop,
stop, turn around. So yeah, it makes like, it just feels.
It is, and you're right. It's a complete massive ad campaign for gambling. And as you said, most ads that will run on that site will be for gambling, and it's not something that is controllable gambling, because the whole reason Twitch put in these sanctions is because you can do gambling, but it needs to be under the control of US companies. Like, it's the US companies only, where even though the stake website, I think, is obviously stake.com,
based offshore, isn't it?
I think it's based offshore. Yeah.
So it's not covered by those sanctions. Or sorry, it is covered by those sanctions. Hence, yep. It's just there's a like, so obviously this platform will be running at a loss, right? There's no way any streaming platform out there will never be able to give 95% split to its creators like this. Not a video streaming platform. It's just impossible. But so they're going to be losing money on this, but they sure as shit aren't losing money elsewhere. They'll be making it hand over fist to be able to afford this, which is why they can afford it. It just brings up that question of morality of, is this actually healthy for the industry, or is this got some skeletons in the closet that we're going to come back to regret later on?
It is For reference, Stake.com is an online casino. It is operated by Medium Rare NV, a company incorporated in Curacao, which is a country is a Lesser Antilles island country in the southern Caribbean Sea and the Dutch Caribbean region. It holds offices in Serbia, Australia, Cyprus, and staff globally. But Stake is not available in Australia, which is where I think the other side of it, that ES Go side of things is. I think that might be part of within Australia. I can't remember, but yeah, it's outside the US is where it is, and it's in the Caribbean area. So yeah. And
I want to make one thing clear: I'm not anti-gambling, right? I will slap a 20 through a pokey most times I go out to the club, and I've spent way too much money at casinos in the past.
I know we've talked about gambling, yes.
Yeah, I am part of the problem, but I very much a fan of, for one, closing off gambling to strictly 18 plus areas that only 18 plus people can view. I think Stake, inadvertently, but Kick itself is very much running the risk of potentially promoting gambling and the sort of a false expectation of gambling to younger viewers, especially if you've got a partnered streamer that comes in and does an advertisement for Stake on that platform, and the odds are skewed in their favor to make it look good. And I'm also just a fan of promoting responsible gambling, right? And this very much, and I've seen some of these clips, right? I've seen people dropping just fucking stupid amount of money, dropping their life savings on this stuff, and it does not put out a good image. And again, is that the responsibility of the viewer to determine that, or is it the responsibility of the person who's broadcasting it? It's a weird moral question.
It is, and it gets into the whole point of like, well, should I really be telling you how to spend your money? Like, if I can't control your money, it's this. You could expand that out into donations to streamers, tier 3 subs. You could literally, buying merch stores. How many people have Amazon wishlist pages that go to support the streamer, which they're getting nothing for, except for entertainment. But there's that whole deep circle in there about, thousands of gift subs and parasocial relationships, and that people either exploit or don't exploit, but have that available to them.
It's a good point, actually. You're right, though. It does delve into this deeper topic of how to, telling people how to spend their money. And you're right, tier 3 subs, stuff like that, fucking pointless investment. I don't even know how much a tier 3 sub costs in Australia, but I know it's extortionate. But yeah, it's I guess it comes down to the fact that, I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. I'm just going to judge you for it. But, that's just what a difference of perspective looks like, really.
Exactly. And I guess it's just one of those things that you'll get a different opinion on based on people's own upbringing, and if they've experienced that, level of if it's destroyed people's lives or friends' lives or whatever it is, you'll have that a different opinion from everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess it also comes to how much disposable income people have. Can they go in?
I've been in the casino and just hanging out. I was like, oh yeah, I'll try some things and press the pretty buttons. And then I walked past and I was sitting next to a guy who was playing on one of those electronic roulette wheels, $3,000 a slap, just betting. And he just kept doing it. No, it was completely fine. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to tell that guy, hey, you really shouldn't spend that money. It's like, well, he should know, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
It's when it's the age question that comes in. Like, if they're under 18, then it's like, well, they shouldn't be able to make those decisions. But then I guess the onus is there on the parents. As not a parent, I believe that is up to the parents to say whether or not they can spend that money on whatever they want. That way.
Yeah, exactly. And I agree with you, because I came from a household where, if my folks saw me playing something or watching something or, anything of the thought that they thought, nah, you're too young for that, they took it away. They said, nah, you play this when you're 18 or 15 or, when you're the right age. I'm like, well, okay, whatever then. And, I turned out okay, I think. I'm a bit of a fucker, but anyway. Yeah, so it's one of those very weird conversations, and I do think that this streaming platform will be very much a catalyst for bringing that up in the future.
And seeing where it does go in the next year or so, because they did say, well, I mean, Trainwreck said, because he's jumped in as like a non-advisor, what is it? Non-advisor and non-exclusive content creator, which is interesting. So
yeah. And again, it begs the question: can Kick destabilize Twitch from a culture perspective? Because we talked about that in the last podcast too.
Yeah, I mean, even looking at the source code, like not the source code, there's a layout of the site as well. It is very Twitch, to the point where I'm like, remember when the Twitch's source code got leaked? I wonder if that had an impact on actually creating this site. You know,
look, to be honest, from actual like even the I'm pretty sure the font in the search bar is the same.
Yeah, it looks like that. Like they could have had like different red icons. They could have had like, I don't know. They'd be smarter people than me.
I'm doing a side by side right now. Oh, it is the same font. I shit you not.
Exactly.
It is the exact same font.
Oh, and it's Jesus Christ! I just refreshed the page on the top streamers, and it's slots, and then an account called eGirl Squirt playing Valorant. Oh, what is this website?
Pop off, King! Pop off!
Let's go.
I need to get off this site, and I need to clear my browsing history straight the fuck away. Oh my god. I'm gonna get a call from.
It's legitimate. That's the main question of how legitimate it is. It is legitimate. When my feeling is it's legitimate, it's just scummy business practice because it's linked to gambling offshore of America. It's in the Caribbean, for fuck's sake. So
lawless environment.
You know,
Pirates of the Caribbean was made Pirates of the Caribbean for a fucking reason. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. The place is lawless as hell.
That's exactly right.
But anyway, it's interesting development. Interesting development.
It is. Speaking of interesting developments, I got there.
There we go. The segues are back, baby.
The segues are back, baby. Interesting developments from the ElonGated Muskrat in the latest Twitter debacles, which they have since deleted their tweets of, but obviously updated their policy still. They have updated their policy, basically summarizing as much as saying that you can no longer say follow me on or promote other social media type platforms. Now this is something that everyone does. They are like, you find me on Twitter and then you go out to all my other sites regardless of what it is. But they're essentially saying they're banning the follow me on or the atting on different platforms on Facebook, Instagram, Mastodon, Truth Social, Tribble, Post, Nostr. Hive's not included on that, so you should definitely go follow me on Hive at Kochiefy. It's back up again. Nailed it.
You just may lose your personal data, but that's okay.
That's fine. I get to be with hexes and bees and stuff, and I'm very happy about this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting time.
It is. Oh, and also Linktree and other link aggregators are also prohibited. So spicy content creators are also completely fucked by this, and not in the good way.
Well, no, they didn't say Feet Finders banned. They so I can still post my Feet Finder content. You're fine.
Good point. But yeah, no, it's to be honest, it was the last thing I was expecting to read this morning, and quite frankly, one of the stupidest moves I think Twitter's made. Well, ElonGated Muskrat has made since day dot.
He's made some dumb decisions so far. So
he has. He really. And I don't think I've seen the internet universally this angry about something in a long time. Like even it's not even just a matter of politically, left and right, or like this is a universal hatred moment right here.
Yeah, I mean, what Twitter's got? Well, I don't know what the last check was, but the last time I think we mentioned it was like 230 million social users, like in a month, on the platform. And it was just so ridiculously hated across the board, and with good reason as well. It'll be interesting to see how it develops, because they just kind of mentioned it on a Twitter forum and on the Twitter post and went, all right, sick. No emails, updating our privacy policy, nothing like that.
Nothing like that. Yeah,
just a post, and if you weren't following the account, well, fuck you. There's already people that have been banned because they've got people at Mastodon Social in their username.
Yeah, it's just the weirdest fuck. It is the weirdest change to make to me. You are the leader, the market leader of the short form text based content, platforms. It just sounds like, I don't know what they're saying in the background, but it just sounds really insecure to me for you to even want to ban Mastodon. It's not that big. It's if you're genuinely that concerned about Mastodon and what it's doing, then you're clearly not that confident in your own product.
Hive's not on there yet, so we'll see. I'm sure they could update and see what's going on.
It's just such a it was just a weird.
It's the opposite of what YouTube does, right? So what YouTube does, it wants to keep. So Twitter, my guess, the goal with it is they want to keep you on the platform as much as possible, right?
Correct. Yep.
YouTube wants the same thing. I mean, every fucking website wants you to do exactly the same thing. They want you to be on that website for as long as possible so you can get as many ads and you can do all that fun stuff. And YouTube does it in a way where it recommends you new videos, it gives you more content, it slides stuff in there and autoplay stuff, so it makes it easier for you, which is why I spend so much fucking time on the platform.
Help me.
I need help. But Twitter instead goes, no, you just can't advertise anything else except tweets. And that's it. It's okay, I'm not on Twitter for very long.
No.
I scroll through my daily feed, I get my updates, and then I'm like, okay, cool, I finished taking a shit, and then I get up and I go back to work. All right.
Which is ironic as hell, right? Because Twitter is sort of an aggregator of other following, other accounts, right? If people who follow on YouTube want a quick little update on what you're doing, they go to Twitter. It's not like Twitter on its own is really bringing in the people, right?
There's no driving force behind Twitter and bringing people in. It's, I want to get to know this content creator.
Depending on who.
A little bit more. It's not. And I don't mean content isn't anything. I want to know this person. I want to keep the opinions of this person in my feed as much as possible. I want to develop my news feed as much as I can.
That's it. And to see them sort of go, you can come here, but you can't go there. It's just weird. Especially considering Facebook and Instagram, they're totally different platforms when you look at them from a long, Facebook, very, very different as far as design is concerned. I don't know much about Nostr or Tribble or Post, Truth Social. I know
Truth Social is Trump's platform.
Oh, just interesting.
Yeah, if I remember correctly. And I don't know Tribble and Post or Nostr either. Maybe they're big in other regions.
But again, to see Mastodon get flamed in this feels weird to me because again, they're just a smaller Twitter, and it's if you're lacking that much confidence in your own brand, then that says a lot, to be honest. Yeah,
exactly. We'll have to see how it develops. It was great though. So speaking of, because they did delete that thread because I was searching for it for this podcast, and then I went, I need to go and find someone's screenshot of the tweets. But ElonGated Muskrat himself also just posted after that saying, what we'll do instead is just a change on that he's made on Twitter. It's just said all the policy changes we made by community vote now. And then decided in his infinite wisdom to request if he should step down as head of Twitter. I will abide by the results of this poll. And this is interesting because it's got 1 hour left on the poll, which could finish by the time we finish this podcast. And it's currently at 57.4% saying yes, he should step down, and 42.6% saying no, with over 16 million votes. So I'm very excited to see how this goes.
The quote tweets as well are pretty fucking good.
Just the responses as well have been excellent.
Yeah. Even Mr. Beast has come in and just said, yep, go away. Oh, shit, man. this. Yep. Anyway,
it's definitely interesting.
yeah.
People have been responding to it and creating some really good memes. There's memes about MySpace Tom being like, I was giving you guys free speech and a profile song, but no, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's
just other ones saying it's a squiggly drawn notepad that just says, "Do you like me? Please circle 1. Yes, no."
The man is $1 billion meme. I swear to God,
$1 billion man child. He banned the account that was tracking his jet and posting where his jet was flying. And if you don't realize, for people who don't know, this is publicly accessible information by law. Like,
yep,
you have to be posting where your jet will be going, and there's live flight trackers online. But because it's on Twitter, and because it's his platform, and because there's an account that tweets where his position is going at all times, where his plane is going at all times, is bad in free speech. What was that? No,
get fucked.
Get fucked, no.
Yeah, fuck you and your free speech. It's very much like I said earlier. I'm going to give you free speech, but not like that. Fuck.
No, not like that. So now there's been subreddits set up to do exactly the same tracking. There's already,
I love the internet.
Yeah, because everyone's just like, well, here's his jet.
Yeah,
track it. Done. That was easy.
Yeah. Yeah, happy days.
So
ElonGated Muskrat.
Yeah, he's not a smart man.
No.
So that will be fun. We'll see how long this podcast goes, and then there is a possibility that we'll actually see the results live.
I hope, actually, to be honest.
Yeah, if we can just fill it in, like fill content in as much as possible, we'll be able to get there.
Y'all ready for a 2-hour podcast, kids?
Just half an hour of silence. Yeah.
Yeah. Moment of silence. We're hoping, dear God.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so that's been the latest. Because that's the thing, right? Like, a lot of people were basically saying, like, they're posting all their other stuff. Like, here's all my other Discord channels and YouTubes, and what I will say that YouTube posting for your YouTube links and your Twitch links and all of that fun stuff, that is still fine, and that's why I think things like OnlyFans and if you're posting explicit content, you're still fine. It's mainly just if you're linking yourself to other social media platforms, that's when it says something like that. Yeah. You can still post up the YouTube vid, you can still post your Twitch, you can still post your your latest Pornhub video or whatever you're doing. But yeah, it's specifically just other social media accounts.
It just reeks of insecurity, honestly.
No, that's who he is.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yep. As an update, we 16 million views, still 57.4%. I would be curious to see if he holds by his word. I really do.
Yeah, it'll be yeah. I mean, people are saying, the collapse was, and it's never like that. It's never one of those things that just happens overnight. Like, you don't lose. We talked about this before, but it's like you don't lose half your staff, and then everything just keeps chugging on normally. Like, no, it's a slow burn, and we're going to enjoy it as much as possible.
Yep. Get your social media accounts on your other platforms, friends, just in case. Get your names. Yeah. Get your names locked in.
Yeah, go to kick.com and sign up for new stream. No. Fuck.
Dear God. Anyway.
It has been a year, and it will be a slow burn into 2023, but at least we get some nice things that did happen for 2022, because there's been some stuff. It's been good to see everybody. I think, PAX and things being back.
Yeah, exactly right. Yep.
And there have been some good games to come out of the year as well.
True. Yeah,
there have been some really bad ones, which I think we'll probably talk about a little bit later today. But there have been some good ones that have come out, and there's been a really good celebration of games around the whole Game Awards. So,
yes, of course,
we wanted to kind of go through kind of each of the categories that were at the Game Awards. Now, we will take this with a grain of salt. Cammy and I haven't played that many video games. I've only reviewed
enough
8, 9. I don't know.
And we call ourselves gamers. God damn it.
And but there have been some games that we have played, and there's been enough content on social media that I've probably watched a lot of games more than I've actually played different games, just because time and and work and everything like that. So where we have an
We're busy
opinion,
bees.
we will make it as a redundant opinion as possible. And where we don't, we'll just go, well, we don't fucking know anything about that game here. And then that will be it.
Exactly.
But I think you did mention before the podcast as well that you were going through the awards and being like, hang on, these numbers don't add up.
So yeah, I did some basic math, which some people don't think I'm capable of, but you know, told you haters. Anyway, so yeah, I was going through the maths and not including the King of Awards, you know, Game of the Year. Elden Ring, obviously this time around, won 3 awards, which is a pretty good running for, you know, the game, for any game really at the Game of the Year Awards, quite frankly. But I was doing some counting and I realized there was another game that has sort of, you know, appeared a few times on this list. I wonder what this is. Oh, God of War Ragnarok. Hang on a minute. This has appeared 6 times. How has Elden Ring won Game of the Year? When you have a game that's won 3 awards versus 6, mathematically it doesn't add up to me. But Koshi made a very good point as well before the podcast as to why this may be the case, and I agree with him. So do go on, Koshi.
Do go on with my infinite wisdom.
Yes.
I think, and there was another point I was going to add to the point as well, but I think the reason the Game Awards, when it comes to Game of the Year, like I really felt like Elden Ring is genre defying. And this is coming from someone, before you get your pitchforks out, who doesn't like Elden Ring. I don't play it. I never finished it. I played it for like 5 hours and then went, nah, this ain't for me. But I can see that when it comes to these types of games, these open world kind of RPG, action RPG type, I don't know what you'd even call them. But Elden Ring is now the gold standard. It is the platinum standard. It is the highest point of what it can be in this genre. It's the thing that every game developer should be looking at. And I don't think Ragnarok is at that level. I don't think it's even as good as the original God of War, like the original 2018 reboot. Hashtag fight me. And brutal. Yeah, like it is a great game. Like this is when you're comparing a 10 to a 9.5. Like they're still both amazing games. It's
stellar
just
titles.
Because they've had the extra constraints of COVID and working remotely when gaming is such a collaborative experience. And Elden Ring was developed for so long. I think after Dark Souls, where it's like, they had a lot more time to work on it.
And there's no denying that, you know, some of some of these awards, which we'll go over in a second here, like, you know, there are awards here that, yes, God of War definitely should have won, and I totally agree that, you know, there's some excellent recognition of talent here from a developing standpoint. And I'm playing God of War right now, and I'm right with you, Koshi. I never picked up Elden Ring; it never looked like my game. But I knew
shit. So
I am
not finishing it.
No, I'm not finishing Elden Ring, and I know that my controller will fly out my balcony window if I try. But in saying that, I can also recognize that it's an objectively good fucking game. And as you say, is genre defining. Like, it will be what other games are compared to going forward for the long run. God of War Ragnarok, while yes, is an improvement, well, by your definition, not, but is a continuation of an excellent series and one of, like, I would say almost a genre defining game that came before it. Which I think that game actually did win Game of the Year awards, so it makes sense. But yeah, God of War Ragnarok is very much a continuation of God of War 2018. It is similar style, it is similar gameplay, just an expansion on what people love in that space. And when you're only expanding on and not completely revolutionizing and doing it well, then that's why you see things like this happen. So I was a bit shocked at first, but after rationalizing it a bit in my head and getting rid of some of my gamer bias, I can see why Elden Ring took Game of the Year. It's a fair shout.
God of War, the original reboot in 2018 did win Game of the Year as well. So it was definitely a high standard to repeat, I think.
Exactly. And I would say that game is relatively genre defining. There are not many games out there that I know of where you saw,
Boy.
yeah, boy. But there was also like I remember no cutscene, like obviously cutscenes, but there was no break. It was a narrative piece from start to finish. There was no black loading screen. It was, yeah, the whole thing was playable or watchable. There was no break in that, which is
Pretty
fucking
cool.
hands down amazing storytelling.
Yeah. It's also about,
anyway,
like, there are categories in here, like best narrative, and if you're trying to compare the difference between God of War and Elden Ring, it's apples to oranges, because one of them tells you a story, and the other one shows you a world where you can find your own story. Like, how are you going to compare them? Like, you're going to meet different NPCs, you're going to have dialogue you're going to miss, you're going to have to make up your meanings, you're going to have to watch Vardy videos to understand the lore behind it, and then you're probably still confused, like I am. But,
exactly right.
Yeah, it is definitely different in there.
And there is some stiff competition this year too in the Game of the Year side of things. So Elden Ring was the winner, we know that much. You had Plague's Tale Requiem in there as well as a nominee. God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, a game that I have actually in my drawers and need to play. I've yet to play it yet. Stray was there. Thought that was a bit of a stretch, but
Very underdog.
There. Yep.
Or undercat, I should say. Ha.
Fuck you. And then there was Xenoblade Chronicles 3
Zero
on there as well. Yeah. So yeah, of that bunch, look, it's fair. Elden Ring deserved the win.
Yeah, I think with I made this comment on it when the nominations came out.
Yeah.
Being like, okay, let's discuss this, and I was like, Horizon and Horizon got shafted as well again. Like Horizon, the original one came out just before Breath of the Wild, and everyone went, Horizon what? And then this happened where Horizon Forbidden West came out, and then Elden Ring, literal Game of the Year, came out again, and they went, Forbidden what? Like, no,
Forbidden what?
Unfortunately, and it'll be a game that people will come back to. It like you said, it's in the drawer, and it's waiting for Christmas, or it's waiting for a good 2 weeks to just enjoy the heck out of. And it's a great game. It's just that it came out a week before Elden Ring, so
Yep, exactly. Yep, exactly. And I'm looking forward to playing it, but because I've heard amazing things about its open world and stuff like that. But
Stray and Xenoblade are also great games. The problem is I think Stray's, well, it is the underdog. It's the small indie title going up David against the Goliath of Elden Ring and
literally.
God of War. And Xenoblade Chronicles, I think, is way too niche. From what I've heard, it's good, but it's also too niche to compete with the big boys. Yeah,
exactly right. Which leads us on to best game direction. This was actually, well, here's the thing: we see a lot of continuation here throughout this list.
There are things that come up again and again, and that's why they're contenders for
Game of the Year.
Because they do pop up that often.
Yeah, so Elden Ring. Elden Wing.
It's the anime mod that came in as Elden Wing.
Drive up to a KFC drive-thru. Can I get the Elden Wing?
Can I get the Elden Wing?
Oh my god. God of War Ragnarok on there as well. Horizon Forbidden West. Immortality. Not heard of that one actually.
That is a live person story game. So if you've played either Her Story before, or what's the other one? Oh, there's another one as well where you have to it's essentially like a real life set of cutscenes that you move through, and it tells a story that way.
Yeah, sure. Until Dawn, Life is Strange, but maybe.
Instead, they're all real life actors.
Oh, shit.
It's not animated. They
cool.
are real life action
that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. That's kind of cool.
It is a very cool concept, and it takes forever because it's not one of those. It's not an interactive story in the sense of you watch a movie and then press a buttons like Netflix's Bandersnatch is. It is.
Yeah, sure.
It is you making sense of a collection of live action footage. I think that's probably the best way. So you have to use keywords to narrow down your search to find and pull on certain threads that you need to discover. It's in terms of uniqueness, it is a very unique game.
Yeah, right. Very cool. Yeah, no, I
Telling
rate it.
Lies
That's a
was the
cool
other one. Telling Lies.
Yeah, yeah, cool content. Cool concept, I should say. Yeah,
It's another one of those games that you can lose yourself in. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. This one was about the disappearance of a career model in the 1960s, which is pretty cool.
Right.
Again, that could also be seen as something that's genre defying, because I think it's probably the best game to do this particular thing. But not many games have done this particular thing, because I think there's only one studio that does this particular thing. So,
which is why it was up for best game direction. It makes sense.
So, that can definitely be up there.
100%. That's a cool concept. I like that.
Yeah, but Elden Ring. When it comes down to outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design, and I mentioned it being genre defying, like that's Elden Ring in a nutshell.
That's the award that gets it there.
Best narrative. So nominations for this one were Plague Tale: Requiem, Elden Ring, God of War: Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, and Immortality again. So it's hard, really. A lot of
consistency.
The same things keep popping up. And it is hard to compare, as I said, with this one, because it's like some of these stories, like Immortality and Elden Ring, you have to find the story, especially with Immortality, because you could just reach a dead end. Like, that's it. Like, story wise, it's like I cannot think of a thing to think about, to search, and that's it.
Which is one of those things. I remember in school, like, you know, when they were teaching you about writing narrative and stuff like that, it was all about the flow of your story. The narrative was the flow. The narrative was the way in which the story was told and played out, right? And God of War, very clearly a game that is heavily narratively driven, and, you know, has characters that enact on certain, like, the game tells you to go a certain direction so that a certain thing can happen, and it paces itself well, and it keeps you engaged from go to woe.
Yeah,
that's why God of War in this particular, because I think it's like Plague's Tale: Requiem. Like, Plague's Tale probably, I don't think, is an open world game, and neither is Immortality, but it's an open ended game, right?
Yeah.
Like Elden Ring, open world. Horizon Forbidden West, open world. God of War. I mean, I think there's some free roam elements of God of War, and some, but it's mainly, like, we all know, God of War is mainly
you go from A to B consistently with a couple of hidden finey areas. Like, you're completing the story in one particular way. It's there to tell you a story.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which is why it won best narrative. So I can understand that direction 100%.
Yep. Agreed. Best art direction for outstanding creative and/or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. We've got anime. We've got anime. There we go. We've got Elden Ring, God of War, Horizon Forbidden West, Scorn, and Stray. So
again, another one new entry in this one. Yep.
And the weird thing is I think I would probably be more leaning to Horizon Forbidden West here.
Yeah, me too.
Specifically for a subjective point of, I just love the biomechanical. Like, I just love the whole feeling of that game.
And from what I've seen of the world, it looks fucking gorgeous. Like, there is no denying
bright.
that.
It's colorful.
And I remember seeing a clip on Twitter of their dynamic wave system and how it impacts the rock faces and stuff like that. And, like, that's cool art design. Like, that's good technical achievement in artistic animation. Like, that's just attention to detail you like to see. And, like, no disrespect to Elden Ring, but when I look at it, I'm not looking at it for the looks.
Yeah.
You know, I'm watching some streamer get his shit kicked in over and over again. That's what I'm enjoying there.
Yeah. So when it's like art direction, it's kind of the monsters are cool, and, like, the bosses are cool, and all the different swords and the different armors, but yeah, I don't know, that one kind of rubs me a little bit wrong way. I guess that would be even like, it gets down to 2 awards if we were to move that one. And it's like, okay, Elden Ring got 2 and God of War got 6. So how does it anyway?
How does this work? Exactly. How does this work? Yeah. So, yeah, I'm with you. That one does kind of rub the wrong way. Is it rigged from the start? Who knows? But
It was rigged from the start.
yeah.
Stray is also very pretty. It has got a very cute art style. And I really like all the different characters in it, and from an art direction point of view, I think that's probably really good. It's got its art style and its world nailed down. It knew the experience it was creating. So
exactly.
And Scorn is like the complete opposite of that, where it's like metal and gore and things like that as well.
Quite the duality of man, actually.
It reminds me of Alien, like Alien movies. Like that's kind of the direction that I get from it. Which is unique. But I still think Horizon Forbidden West. You've got the biotech stuff in there. You've got a bright, colorful world.
Natural overgrowth.
It just feels like a very. If it was to get anything, like a consolation prize, because I don't think it wins any rewards, and that sucks because it's
given how many times it was fucking nominated too, man. Like that is rough.
It's like imagine just getting second place in everything.
Oh,
like that just feels bad.
It does, doesn't it? It really does.
Fucking hell, there's a lot of awards here.
There is a lot. Yeah, we've got a lot to get through.
That's fine. We've got more time for the whatchamacalls the Twitter thing. I got there eventually. The Twitter voting thing.
The Twitter vote. Yeah,
that took way too long.
Fucking yeah. Did you smell burnt toast by chance?
Yeah, I'm fine. Best score in music. Outstanding music, inclusive of score, original song, and or licensed soundtrack. So I'm going to screw up these names, but we've got Olivia Deravieri. I screwed that up. That's pretty accurate, A Plague Tale Requiem. We've got Tsukasa Saito for Elden Ring. Bear McCreary for God of War Ragnarok.
What a fucking name that is, by the way.
Bear McCreary. Yeah, that's a good name.
He sounds like he belongs in a Red Dead Redemption 2 game. That's all I'm going to say.
It's my RP character come to life. Two Feathers with Metal Hellsinger and Yasunori Mitsuda, which is for Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I didn't say it there, but that's what I googled.
Yeah, cool. Well done, because I would have just said, "Oh, man, doesn't get anything."
No,
he just showed
makes
up.
Everything. He just makes so many things that there's nothing that he can't be known for.
Yeah. He's the Hans Zimmer of the gaming world.
It's just there.
And yeah, obviously, God of War Ragnarok taking the victory here. For its Nordic style. And look, I haven't played much of God of War yet. I haven't gotten that far into it, but fucking hell, the music does shake my house a little bit.
That is good. I don't think I've heard too many soundtracks because people are scared about copyright on Twitch. So that's probably why I haven't heard too much of the music, and it's usually really low. Exactly. Just for streamers and stuff. Leave this. I have played Metal Hellsinger though, and that game is cool. It's basically like if Doom Eternal became a rhythm game. And it's great. Like you've got swords and you have to cut to the beat, and you've got guns, you got to shoot to the beat.
And it's pretty cool.
The more combo you get, the more hardcore and faster and everything gets. So it adapts, the music adapts to the way that you play. Which is very cool.
Cool concept.
Very cool concept. Especially but it is, not a niche genre, but metal, so it's not for everybody.
No, exactly. It's got a very heavy presence, which
it's a gameplay feature as well. Like you can't play this game without the music. So
no, fair call. So very very fair win on best score in music, which moves us on to best audio design. Now, one of these things is not like the other.
Yeah.
So here, recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design, we've got. Actually, I'm going to go in a particular order here. Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Forbidden West, and then Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Now,
pew-pews.
You see, I admire the gun audio in that game, don't get me wrong. But fuck me, the footstep audio doesn't fucking work. How can it win best audio if it doesn't fucking work? The amount of times I've died in Warzone to some dickhead fucking skating on his bubble wrap shoes that have been popped already and killing
He's got
me.
sneakers on, motherfucker.
He's my boy running them new Jordans with the stealth mod attached to them.
Yep. Everyone got equipped with dead silence. My God. Yep.
Oh my God. Anyway, so I don't know how the hell.
Talking about the single player.
Surely it has to be,
right?
Because I know in multiplayer audio don't fucking work.
It don't fucking work. Yeah.
It just don't work, boy.
The other thing is, well,
anyway.
I guess, Gran Turismo 7 is obviously the vroom vroom car noises. So
okay, yeah. Look, I'm a car guy. You know this about me.
Yeah.
I have Gran Turismo 7 on my PlayStation. Funnily enough, that's been getting more playtime than God of War lately. So you can see where my priorities lie.
Yep.
But so I've got a $900 soundbar in that room, and I won't lie, it's a good sounding game.
Yep.
It's a good sounding game. Have they it's just cars, yes, but boy, do the cars sound good.
They sound like cars, yes.
They sound vroom vroom very fast, go go. So yeah, it's quite a stark list that we're dealing with here. One that deals with very very different audio designs. But God of War took the victory there as well. Yeah. Yep.
Which, I would wonder to see how they actually, because score and music is separate. Audio design and score are separate categories here. So when you're looking at the audio design, you're not looking at voice acting either, because that's the next award. So are you just talking about the bonks of the weapons and the general ambience and like the sound of Foley, things?
Yeah, the actions, the footsteps. The footsteps,
yep. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. So that's when I kind of look at it and go, well, I would have to play it, obviously. But, when I was looking at it, I was like, well, actually, if you're looking at accuracy and stuff, I mean, would even consider putting it towards Gran Turismo. Because that takes a lot of technology to actually, you're not creating your own thing, you're recreating something which you're not just holding a microphone up to a Lotus Esprit and being like, here's the audio now. It's like, no, you have to recreate that. Just rev the thing for a bit and I'll get it. It's like, no, I don't think that's how that works.
No, it is really not, because you got to get gear changes, you got to do all of that shit. So it's a very very, very interesting decisioning there. But I've also played God of War, and the core audio in that game hasn't missed a beat yet either. The hits sound really good. So bonk. Yeah. Exactly. So cool stuff. Interesting decision. But it does move you on to best performance, another audio one, because this is awarded to an individual for voice over acting, motion, and/or performance capture. So I guess audio plus, performance capture and stuff like that.
Yeah. So the performance of the particular person.
Correct.
Yeah.
So in this one, we had Ashley Birch for Horizon Forbidden West, Charlotte McBurney for A Plague Tale Requiem, Christopher Judge for God of War Ragnarok, Manon Gage for Immortality, and Sunny Soljic for God of War Ragnarok as well. I remember actually, so God of War won this. Christopher Judge took it home, which, boy, that is
boy.
Boy. But I remember, I think when Red Dead and God of War came out in the same year, I'm pretty sure, I forget his name, but the guy who plays Arthur Morgan took the victory that year over Christopher Judge. And I think what has to be said about that is, yes, Christopher Judge plays a good God of War, and I haven't finished this God of War, so I could be misrepresenting this. But God of War is very one-dimensional in the sense that the character, yes, he goes through a character arc, but it's pretty consistent in his demeanor and in his approach and stuff like that. Whereas I know with Arthur Morgan, because, Red Dead was one of the only games I've ever cried over.
Roger Clark as Arthur Morgan as well.
Roger Clark, that was him. Yep. That was a fucking moving performance. So yeah, it's interesting to see. It's interesting to see God of War win this time around, and I could be very much undervaluing that performance because I've yet to finish that game.
Let's see, the one's from 2018. So yeah, Roger Clark was Brian Deckard as Connor from Detroit Become Human. Christopher Judge as Kratos. Yuri Lowenthal as Spider-Man, Marvel's Spider-Man. And Melisanthe Mahut as Cassandra from Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Interesting.
There you go.
Yeah, right.
Oh, you know.
Yeah, but it's once again another award going to God of War.
And I think the only thing I would say, and it's interesting because God of War got 2 nominations in this one as well from different performances, which is from the other one being Sonny Suljic, which is the boy. If I remember correctly. I
believe that is true. I'll just double check that real quick.
Yeah,
the boy, Sonny Suljic. Here he is.
Suljic.
It's boy.
So yeah, I would possibly argue with Immortality getting there as well because it is live action. It's not just your vocal performance; it's a physical performance that you get stage directions for, and there are things in there that need to, extra things that need to be done. Manon Gage being the actress who played that, and they are the main character there as well. But so that's the only argument I have there for that. But I think Christopher Judge's performance is pretty excellent. He doesn't don't miss with that. I don't think.
No, he is the character. He is Kratos.
Yeah.
So yeah, no credit where credit is due there for sure. Cool. Which moves us on to a very interesting category, and one, as I look down this list, I have absolutely no fucking clue what any of these are.
No fucking. All these games I'm now adding to my Steam wish list because I want to play them. That's basically all I've just gotten from this.
So these are for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. Here you've got A Memoir Blue, As Dusk Falls, Citizen Sleeper, Ending Extinction is Forever. Sounds fucking grim. Hindsight, and I Was a Teenage Exocolonist.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know how to read these, Kochi.
I'm just going to add all these, and we can just have a look at them later. I think is probably the best way to do it. So as Dusk Falls is the winner. So if you were looking for whoever the winner was for that, but I'll be honest, the only one I actually have ever heard of is Citizen Sleeper. During the week, during the year, and it. Looking at it. Let us know what you think in the comments, guys. Let us know let us know whether or not if you've played any of these games, what they're like, because maybe you'll wiggle a Steam purchase out of me or something. Yeah, I've pretty much going through just adding all these to the list, so get some thought provoking things out of the Christmas holidays maybe for you.
Exactly.
I'm gonna Google all of these and probably add them. So that'll maybe I'll have some reflections on the next podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
But. Yeah, it's awesome, I think, to have a category about this as well. So it's not just the narrative. It's not just, a performance from one particular person. It's so you go away from the game having something that lingers with you. I think that's probably the best way to describe it, an award like this. You read a book or you watch a movie or an anime or listen to a song and it has impact on you because of the words that are spoken or the message that it sends. And I think having that is very cool.
Yeah, it's not like a thing where you walk away either angry because, little Timmy on the other side of the world beat you at a video game, or, you
didn't hear some footsteps fucking audio.
Or you go, oh, that was fun. Yeah, good times. Or, it's one of those things that makes you sometimes even question yourself as a person, or, you think about, okay, how can I do better? Stuff like that. So, quite an interesting. It's good to see an award like this coming into play, and I think it also encourages games to come out that fill that sort of space. So, good on them. Good
on them indeed. More games that I can play.
Yeah.
Best ongoing game. So
the games that won't fucking die.
The games that won't fucking die. The award awarded to the best game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time, which, again, I don't know how people pick this award, but anyway, so we've got Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14 Online, Fortnite and Genshin Impact. How the hell do you compare those games?
No, I don't know. That's a look. I get the award, but what the fuck?
Yeah.
Is it like I think this award is just the live service award.
The live service award, yeah.
This is the award for all of the games that release shit and get better later on, or release or just continuously come out with more and more content to keep the game from dying. It's microtransactions. The award is what this is.
Yep.
But no,
Apex is free to play with a battle pass. Destiny 2 is free to play with its own passes and expansions. Yep. Final Fantasy is a subscription fee with expansions, and Endwalker came out at the end of last year. So we'll have to see how that goes. Fortnite is the battle pass, free to play with battle pass, and Genshin is gacha mechanics and everything under the sun, but it's free to play as well, and it's on mobile. So
and the majority of these games have been on this list for nominations the last couple of years, every year.
And I've played all of these games except for Genshin, but yeah, I would say that Final Fantasy takes it. Like, they've had such a good surge of community influx from games being shit like World of Warcraft. They've delivered some really good experiences, and I think the amount of work that's gone into making the game what it is, just from the get-go of it being introduced, it is miles ahead of Apex and Fortnite. And I think Fortnite probably won previous years as well, but I think it's definitely taken a lot to knock it off its high horse.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and it's good to see something actually knock it off its high horse. So all power. I've never played Final Fantasy, so all power to them.
Yeah, the best way I've had it described to me is if you were comparing that in World of Warcraft, is World of Warcraft is an MMORPG and Final Fantasy an RPG MMO. So it sets up the world and the story, and you're the warrior of light, and you're the character that will do everything.
Yeah, okay.
Which also means the first 100 hours are as boring as shit, because it's setting up the world and the characters, and does a massive amount of world building that is all very, very slow. The point is the payoff comes 200 hours later when the guy that was in the last expansion pops up out of nowhere, and you're like, you lose your mind. Yeah, you lose your mind because and the whole community is at that point, where they finished the Endwalker expansion stuff, and not just the diehard fans, but the story is told so well that people feel things.
Yep.
Plus, you can get cute minions and glamour yourself and look sexy and stuff. So can't do so much of that in Fortnite. Yeah.
No, exactly right.
I can be a cat boy. All right, that's all I wanted.
Fuck.
I guess Genshin has waifus, so there you go. It's cat boys or waifus, all right?
How much of a degenerate can you be, essentially?
Yes.
That's basically it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, my fucking lord. All right, then. Which moves us swiftly onto Best Indie Game, which... There's some titles on here. So for outstanding creative and technical achievement in the game made outside the traditional publisher system, which is a pretty fair description, I must say.
There's a lot of good indies this year.
Yeah, Cult of the Lamb on here, which took off, Australian developer, I believe, as well, which is really, really cool to see. Neon White, Sifu, Stray, and Tunic. Stray took out the win. I don't think anyone is surprised by that. But you played Tunic, didn't you? You reviewed Tunic this year.
I love Tunic. I would say if I could make a game of the year, I would probably put Tunic on it.
Wow. Tall.
Yeah, and I didn't even finish the game because I'm shit at it. But because I could go to the last boss and I couldn't finish it. But oh man, that experience, especially for the fact that go watch my review. But the fact that it just does things in a way that allow you to continue to explore. And it does and it meshes everything so nice in this cutesy little isometric view with a cute little boxy character. It just does everything so well.
Nice.
Considering it's made by that small development team as well, it is good. I like it.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, no,
he's
good.
Cool.
I mean, unfortunately, you had Stray up there with some of the big boys competing in other categories. So very much puts it in a very strong place for best indie, which confuses me as to why it won this next award as well. Because to me, if you've got a game that's going to win best indie, and then it also sits in the best debut indie title game as a nomination, I think we can see where that's fucking going.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
there is some overlap there where overlap should not be, my guy. So, yeah, for best debut, so the best debut indie game is the best debut game created by a new independent studio. Okay, so
which Stray is.
Stray is.
Yeah.
Did it really have to be nominated for this as well, though? Like, it just won best indie. Like, so yeah, in this category, we had Neon White, Norco, Stray, Tunic, and Vampire Survivors.
That's why I think it is kind of the year of the indies, really, because I mean, we'll reflect on it maybe a little bit later, but I mean, 2020 for AAAs has been kind of dog shit. So the indies have really popped up, and for having like Vampire Survivors is amazing. It is like $3 on Steam, and it's basically a bullet hell shmup. Where you upgrade your character and just kill.
Oh yeah, I've seen this game.
Yeah,
Yep.
Many streamers have played it, and there's been a lot of spin-offs that have come out from this as well. I think Soulstone Survivors or something was another one that my friend played. But this was the one that it just does everything really, really well. There's no lag. It all just works. You can make different builds. Every different time you play is something new. It just picked a thing to do, and it did it amazingly well. Yeah. Tunic, already I could talk for ages about that. The music, the art direction in there is amazing. It's my phone lock screen. I can't it's just sitting on there drinking a cup of coffee on a rock. You can't see that.
Too cute.
I love that game. Neon White is an interesting concept as well. People are able to explore those individual games. If I remember correctly, it's the action platformer. It's first person kind of speedrunny vibes, with a little bit of anime in there as well, but very, very, very positive in the way it does everything, because I kind of want to say it's kind of like Mirror's Edge type. It's jumpy running parkour, but not it.
Cool concept.
Yeah, you get different power-ups, and you're doing stuff and trying to get best times and stuff. So it just, again, does one thing, and it does it really, really well. But again, niche. If you're not into speedrunning and everything like that, then that's all you're going to get, really. And Norco, I've never heard of before, but again, on the wish list it goes. Okay, if I search Norco, it comes up with a mountain bike page. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for.
No,
on Steam.
No, there you go. You sure you don't want to do some mountain biking, Koshi?
I'd probably break a mountain bike at this point.
Fucking clunk on.
Mother help. It is a text-based point-and-click adventure that immerses the player in the sinking suburbs and industrial swamplands of an increasingly surreal and distorted South Louisiana.
Oh. Okay,
very small game, not that many reviews. The first game from a development company called Geography of Robots. Geography of Robots. So,
legends.
Nice job on that one, guys. And that's the thing when it comes to these things as well, because there have been so many games that have come out this year. Just being on a Game Awards list would make the developers just over the fucking moon. Like, the Stray developers must be so excited that they're on Game of the Year.
Drives fucking traffic to the game as well. Like, because people who haven't heard about it, they're like, what's this game that's in this nomination? I'm going to go check this shit out, 100%.
I would say, going back to the Indie Awards, the one that I was surprised that's not on there was Rogue Legacy 2 for Best Indie. All those games on there are great. Sifu is great. White is cool. Cult of the Lamb is really fun. Devolver Digital just absolutely smashing it with their weird and wacky ways of doing things. But when I was looking at it and I was going, I know you can only have top 5s, it looks like, for a lot of these.
Couple of top 6s in here.
Couple of top 6s. I probably would have said Rogue Legacy 2 because would have been a best indie game. It is arguably like a perfect sequel. Everything that was shit in Rogue Legacy 1, they got rid of. Everything that was great, they built on it, and then they added a bunch of new cool shit. Like, that's the perfect way to make a sequel. So I feel that if there was another game to be added as a 6th, it should be there.
My apologies. I've just done a quick refresh on Twitter. We are T-minus 58 minutes to find out
whether
the
for 58 more minutes.
whether Muskrat or not has a job by the end of this.
Yeah, according to the Twitter collection.
Yeah, exactly. What a payoff.
We're ready. The countdown is here.
Well, speaking of mobile apps, moving on to our good friend, the Best Mobile Game Award of the year. So here we've got Apex Legends Mobile. Fantastic. Diablo Immortal. Oh, fantastic.
That exists. That is indeed a game of the world. Yeah.
You guys have phones, right? Genshin Impact. Yep. Marvel Snap and Tower of Fantasy. Winner was Marvel Snap, but let's be real, all of these games have decided to fucking just steal your money. That's
Marvel
how they
Snap
work.
is so much fun. I'm so glad it won. I've not paid any money for this game, and yet I have played so much of it. I think I'm like level 27 on the latest battle pass. I can't remember, but like, because it's so good. It's simple. It just works. Todd Howard, for those who haven't played it, it is a collectible card game. You have 6 turns, and you have to be the controlling side of power in 3 different towers or areas. So in each turn, you get either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana, and that's it. You don't get any extra mana unless people have special effects and stuff. So there's always a time limit. So you're always restricted on these turns. There's no... there's some crazy stuff that you can do, but it's all just little effects from all the different cards, and you've essentially got 6 turns and you're done. And the one with the most power on each side wins, so you've got to be controlling 2 of the 3 to be winning, essentially. 2 of the 3 areas. The areas also have special things that they can do as well. It just works, and it's all Marvel characters. So you got Iron Man and Hulk and all even cool the weird and wonderful ones as well. From X-Men and stuff. So it just works, and I'm really enjoying it.
Frozen on my screen.
I'm frozen. No. That's fine. I'm still good on my side.
Okay, cool.
The only one I have not played Tower of Fantasy. I will check it out. And Diablo Immortal is a piece of shit, so I don't know how that could be nominated for best mobile game. But
well, let's be real, the mobile market's pretty shit regardless, so, you know.
Depends if you're asking the West or China. Like, I guess, because it's probably made a fuck ton of money in China.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's a good point.
And I would probably argue that Genshin Impact probably could have taken this one. Just the amount of... Like, this is the difference, right? Like, I don't know how you compare them. Like, Marvel Snap does one thing and it does it really, really well.
And Genshin Impact does another thing and does it very well.
Yeah, it does so much because it's an MMO, and it's an MMO that you can play on your phone that then you can take your progress back onto your PC and then play that, and then like it's just cool.
It's very, very much the connected world on that.
And there's waifus.
Really, really cool.
What more could you want?
Well, yeah, true. True. It's the reason it's there. Let's be honest.
Yeah. So I can see if people are saying that, you know, maybe Genshin Impact would have won, but I think Marvel Snap did pretty well. I'll have to check out this Tower of Fantasy though. What is this like?
What is this shit? Well, while you're checking that out, I'll move on to community support, or best community support, which is recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game/patches. Basically, the marketing team getting a pat on the back is what this award is.
Oh, it's an open RPG anime-infused sci-fi adventure with waifus. Got it. Awesome. Genshin beats it.
Got it. Cool. Cool. So in best community support, you've got Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14 Online, Fortnite, and No Man's Sky. Interesting to see No Man's Sky on here. Obviously, that game has really sort of come out from the ashes. I kind of feel like No Man's Sky, despite its turnaround, has kind of revoked itself from any potential of getting community support, considering that, you know, it lied when it first came out.
Yeah, it is such a great story.
Oh yeah,
from that game. And there is a really dedicated following on just Sean Murray's platform. Like I remember, because one of my other friends follows it pretty heavily. He's like, "Oh, Sean Murray tweeted out orange, just the word orange, or a picture of an orange or something."
Yeah,
and then the subreddit was blowing up with like different theories about to what's the next thing that's coming in
what
to
does the
No
orange
Man's
mean?
Sky.
Yeah.
And I feel like it is witnessing their vision in action. It really just got out of hand of the way that it all started.
And it did leave a really sour taste in my mouth when things went bad. And it's hard to look past that. But anyway, Fortnite, obviously, this most recent season, I think, completely overhauled the graphics engine, which was pretty wild.
And they're really on the ball when it comes to just, oh, there's a new meme or there's a new thing and there's a new piece of community art that people are like, we should need that in Fortnite, and then they just do it. Whether
you like Fortnite or not, which I don't, but mind you, I haven't played it in years.
Yeah, I don't mind it because there's no build mode now, so I actually enjoy it.
Well, you see, that might be the one version I enjoy because fuck shooting at someone and having the Taj Mahal fly out their ass. But anyway.
Kids on 40 cans of Red Bull flicking 90s and building forts.
Homeboy building a fucking 5-star hotel right in front of me and then snipes me back with like, nah.
After a 360. Yep.
I'm not about that ADHD lifestyle, but anyway.
Kids making hotels.
I thought I was playing a shooter, not fucking Monopoly. Anyway.
That's it. That's why there's no build. It's great. But yeah. It's good.
Yeah, anyway. Obviously Destiny 2 continuing to get support over the years. Apex Legends, could you call it support or could you call it EA just milking the cow dry?
I think that's a completely terrible nomination. The way that they've changed that game over the last year is like completely ruined any sense of like competitive play for someone who isn't a Predator level top 500 player.
Yeah.
They changed ranks completely. And it's to the point where I can't have fun in that game anymore unless I'm really being a dickhead. Like, not even caring. Like, I try to play ranked and it's just... So they did all that, and then if you're not, like, a big superstar, it just kind of... You're fucked. Like, better keep on that grind set. Just keep getting punched by people who are way better than you.
Keep grinding, little Timmy. You'll get there one day. You'll be fine. But anyway, it's...
Final Fantasy, again, it wins. They do live letters. Live letters from the producer. It's like monthly catch-ups, giving you updates as to reasons why things have happened. They do live streams. They've got community plays where they got stuff jumping in on Twitch. They do all of that. They've got, the community director and the director of the game. It's just... It's all good. It's all good stuff. I don't play the game currently because I don't have the time, but I still follow the community, and I think it's definitely one of the most dedicated communities for good reasons as well. Like not just like World of Warcraft's community where it's like, well, we got nothing else and we're going to be fucking toxic, but it is just a really good community supported game.
No, it's a very, very good shout. Okay. Hang on, I'm scrolling through here.
Another category that I'm now needing to add things to my wish list because I've got my VR headset. You actually know you can see it, right? Oh, no, you can't see it. You can't see it on the podcast, but Cammy can see it because I've cut myself.
I'm going to let you take over this one because I do not have a VR headset. I'm not planning on getting a VR headset, which means I have no fucking clue what any of this is. So please take it away. So this is the best VR/AR game. So I guess I'm the only one with knowledge, I guess, of the games. With a redundant opinion.
Have played, with a redundant opinion. You have played a couple, like at PAX and stuff, so I think you can probably provide some on the shooter side, but
none of them are on this list.
None of them are on this list. So Bone Lab, I guess, is the one that's probably closest to that. But so we've got best VR game, AR game for the best game experience playable in a virtual or augmented reality, irrespective of platform. So we've got After the Fall, Among Us VR, Bone Lab, Moss Book 2, and Red Matter 2. And I have played none of these. So I'm going to be great. I have seen a lot of what Bone Lab has
get some
been
drink
done.
of water while you do this.
Yeah, you're all good. So the Bone Lab is a really good, I would argue to say it's like a really good tech demo. It does its technology very, very well, but it's kind of lacking a little bit on content. I think it needs more content to be a full VR game. It's one of those games that you jump in, you play an hour or two, you're like, that was a cool experience, and then you sit down, and then you go back to playing a game that you'll play for 20 to 30 hours. Among Us VR, well, it's Among Us, but in VR, so of course it's going to be a lot spoopier. You'll have friends jumping up and killing you and laughing about it, because there'll probably be some kind of proximity chat, or you'll be in Discord with your friends playing or something. I could definitely see myself playing it, but again, it's I could rant about this for a while, but VR, it's difficult sometimes when you're not Half-Life Alyx to really provide really lasting experiences that aren't just experience for the sake of being experiences. And I think a lot of VR games nowadays provide that. I'm an experience that you play for 2 hours and then that's it.
Yeah.
And Among Us is pretty much the same. It's the hot topic for the week, but now in VR. And then these last two, Moss Book 2, which ended up being the winner. Never heard of before, but it's on my list, on my Steam wish list now. And no surprise I haven't heard of it before, because it's got a total of 156 ratings. All very positive. So, and it's definitely, it looks like a little mouse that solves puzzles and stuff. I don't know where the VR comes into it. Because from the screenshots, it doesn't look like it's very much VR, but unless you're doing it from the perspective of the mouse.
Yeah, right.
And there's currently 6 people playing it right now. So this comes back to the whole, well, VR is still so niche, regardless of how much being pushed, and people got Valve indexes. And as I said, I've got 2 headsets. I've got a MetaQuest 2, and I've got a HTC Vive, but it is still such a niche market. It's very hard to develop those.
Yeah. Exactly right.
And then the last one on this list is Red Matter 2, which is a MetaQuest game, or on Oculus Quest and Steam. Another game, 186 ratings, but it looks to be takes place during the dystopian Cold War, whose events unfold after Red Matter. So you'd have to play the first one maybe to get the full story of this one. But it looks to be an in-person shooty bang.
Yeah, okay.
Puzzle solvey thing in space.
Bang, bang, shooty, bang, bang. Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, nice.
And there's also the main problem. There are so many problems when it comes to VR. Shit's expensive to get the headset.
Oh yeah.
Then games are expensive, because these look kind of like, I would say, close to what indie games would be, and that they're minimum $50 to $60. Which makes it even more difficult to recommend. This one, $42 for Moss Book 2.
There you go.
And again, people have a time limit when they're playing VR, because not only with some of them they've got battery lives, but also just
motion sickness
and having your screens right in your eyes for so long. You're going to play it for so long. So there's a lot going against VR, but I think it is one of those things that could be the next experience. It's just we need to get it right. Like it needs a Half-Life Alyx, or it needs something like that.
And the demand needs to meet the supply. Pricing will come down. It'll start to meet in a nice middle ground for gamers. So and there's also the space factor too. You need space to play a VR game.
You do, yeah.
You need the room, which not everyone has.
Yeah,
I sure
so
as
many
shit could not put a VR. I couldn't put a VR headset in my house.
You'll end up punching the things on the back wall there. You'll end up knocking over a car or something. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you're trying to punch an enemy or something.
Yeah, I'll take out all my Lego that's here, which is not. Yeah, no.
Don't want to rebuild that at all.
No.
There's a lot of going against it, but it could be good. It's just it just requires so much to actually be playable and enjoyable. Which is why you really, really enjoy them when you've got it at PAX, or you've got an event where you can just sit there and actually play it for like 20 minutes and be like, that was a really cool experience.
Yep. Exactly right. Which, funnily enough, speaking of, an ability to get your hands on something and enjoy it and, fit it for the environment you've got innovation and accessibility.
Yeah,
Is
so
the
going
next
from
category.
adding too many blockers to removing a whole bunch of blockers and making it more accessible.
Yeah. So this is recognizing software and or hardware, which is funny because I don't see any hardware here, but anyway. Is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. So in this category, you had As Dusk Falls, God of War Ragnarok, Returnal, Return to Monkey Island, The Last of Us Part 1, which I'm assuming is only just the remaster that came out earlier this year?
I think so. Yeah, it must have been.
It must have been. And The Quarry. With God of War taking the win, which is interesting. I haven't come across the reason as to why that's the case just yet.
This is difficult because if you don't know of any accessibility options, you're screwed because everyone, sorry, I wouldn't say everyone, the mass majority of people, they don't use the accessibility options. That's what they're there for. They're there for the people who cannot play the game like everyone else can. And they need those accessibility controls to be able to have that same experiences that we get to. I don't know if it's out yet, but I would have expected the Xbox's hub controller to be on this list.
Let me have a look. I've actually seen this thing yet.
It's like Xbox. A slab with two like spinny wheels and a D-pad. It's
Oh, this thing. Oh yeah. The adaptive controller.
The adaptive controller.
It does look cool, actually.
It was announced back in 2018. Maybe it's not actually out yet. No, it is. I can buy it. So I don't know.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah, this is weird that it's not on the list here, actually.
Yeah. So I thought it would.
Because you're right. It looks like you can just plug a whole bunch of inputs into it.
Yeah, and you can map everything the way that you need to be able to play.
This is really cool.
It is. It's really, really awesome. Which is why I'm like, why is it on this list? Maybe they forgot.
Yeah, and everything appears to be mappable.
Yeah. So I would say, as the Redundies, as the new award show that I'm calling. Yeah.
The Redundies.
The Redundies.
Oh my god. Fuck off. The Redundies. Oh, I was just watching that show
for next year.
To you bastards.
Dundies, Office, No, it's the Redundies. That'll be our next year's Game Award show.
Predictions,
we'll dress up on shits. We'll dress up in shirts and suits, is what I meant to say.
Yeah, I like this idea. Yeah.
I'm going to dress up as a poo now.
We've both got standing desks too now as well. Yeah. Do the full presentation. Yeah, okay.
That's it.
You're right though, because when I see that, and then I see everything else on this list, I go, well, hang on.
Yeah. So when it comes down to accessibility, there are a lot of features that usually bring into question things like God mode and like slower enemies. This isn't a difficulty setting. This isn't easy, medium, or hard, or things like that. It's about making things accessible to more players. So things like subtitles, things like audio enhancements, colorblind options. Remappable controls, no die modes or no failure states, things like that to make it more accessible for people who it's to feel the same experiences that we can. If there is a section in a game that is too hard to complete, and then you don't get to have the same experiences as someone who is just a little bit better than you or has, I don't know, done that more, then it's good to have those options available.
It's been interesting watching the dialogue around this too, because lately I put out a tweet and a short and a TikTok actually, calling out, asking people, based on your thoughts, has the gaming industry become too casual? And clearly I left that bar way too fucking wide open because I was very much... Yeah, exactly. My goal was actually to talk about first-person shooters and whether or not they've become too casual or not, which is a whole different subject matter when you compare it against the whole gaming industry. But by leaving it that wide open, I left myself open to questions to people saying, well, yes, first, like single player games have become too casual. There's too many options that make the side of the game, like you may decide to defeat or play through the game at a certain degree of difficulty, and then someone else does it on easy mode or on God mode, and it robs you of your success. Like, no, that's not how that works.
No, not at all.
That's called accessibility. And if you're so fragile that you need to compare your achievement to someone else's who is less literally able-bodied than you, who needs those options, then that's your problem, not the game's. And
yeah, it's the difference between difficulty and accessibility. And these wires get crossed a lot of the time with people, especially people who play things like Elden Ring and Dark Souls. There's a community there that like just straight up, like, you need to be the best at the game or you just don't deserve to enjoy this game.
To win, yeah. And well, that's the thing too, like, because difficulty at its core is accessibility. It was the first ever accessibility option, really, when you think about it. Like, it was the first ever option that was added to make games more accessible for those who are less able-bodied, or, you know,
less skilled.
Less skilled, exactly. Like someone who didn't have the motor skills or the mental skill to know what to do in those challenging environments. And it meant that a story could be played out in the way in which that person wanted to. So yeah, I don't view accessibility as a big deal, especially in the single player realm. In the multiplayer realm, I think it's a little bit different, because then you've got competitive integrity and stuff like that coming into play, and that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah. Exactly. It is one of those things where, you know, I think we were complaining on your stream. I think it was like accessibility about like aim assist and stuff. You get someone jumps around the corner and holds left trigger or whatever and just aims at your head and shoots you immediately. It's like, well,
how do you beat that?
How do you beat that? How do you win?
As competitively minded individuals, how do you beat that? Like,
you either have to turn on off that switch, which some people can. Like, I can very easily turn off that switch and just, all right, fine, whatever, just sit back and play and, you know, just enjoy that. But a lot of people can't. Like, they're playing, they're grinding out their experience and they're trying to grind out their rank or whatever. And there's nothing that's more infuriating than having someone do exactly that and not say that person is cheating. Or, you know, that person is taking away from your experience by doing that. It's very difficult.
It is, yeah. And when you've got long time, again, we're going on a tangent here, but when you've got long time, you know, keyboard and mouse players switching to console or switching to controller because, you know, that's easier, it does sort of, it brings up that question of, when are you being accessible and when are you removing the competitive integrity of the game and the room for skill to be expressed in a way that's uniquely expressed, which, you know, again, I think differs greatly from the single player games that really dominate this list here. If we hadn't mentioned it already, I think we have God of War Ragnarok came out as winner there, and I don't remember exactly.
And these are all single player games as well.
Correct. Correct. It's worth pointing out.
It is worth pointing out there as well. So I think, and that's where it comes down to, and that's there's so many different discussions that people can take this as well. But we're really just talking about making the fun experience of playing a video game accessible to as many people as possible. And if that means that someone gets God mode and can press a button to one hit everything and it kills them, and then they go up to the final boss and they bonk it and they win, and they had fun doing that, fucking awesome. It does not take away from your experience that you did it on super hardcore no-hit level 1 soul level with only fireballs and shooting and upside down while playing on 2 dance mats. It does not matter. Unless you had fun doing it that way, because I've seen that. I saw 2 versions of Elden Ring being beaten with 2 separate dance mats by a chick. I don't know. I'd have to go and find the video, but it's
I know which one you're talking about too, yeah.
It's insane. But that person is enjoying that, doing that themselves, not taking away from anyone else's experience.
And before anyone else says it, that line stops in single player games, because if you do that in multiplayer, you're hacking. So, you know.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I can fly around helicopter. See, this is what we look at it as, a purely single player
correct
experience. Yeah.
Correct. Exactly.
Which, we are obviously not too well versed on accessibility features. I'm not colorblind. I don't need to use them. I like having subtitles on. That's close as I get.
Yeah.
Same. I have subtitles on all the time. But
I'm exactly the same.
Other than that, let us know if there's some really cool accessibility options that people should check out. Let us know.
Yeah, definitely.
It's something that we need to explore a little bit more, I think.
Yeah, agreed. But moving on to the next category here, best action game, which is basically primarily focusing on the quality of combat in a video game. A very diversified list here, I must say.
How do you compare these?
Like, okay, so Bayonetta 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Neon White, Sifu, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge.
Shredder's Revenge.
Like, fuck, what a badass title. But no, like, yeah, like as you said, how the hell do you compare this, man? Like,
you've got Bayonetta, so a third-person action shooter with anime and hair everywhere. You've got COD, which I guess, again, do you compare the multiplayer or the single player? Do you compare Warzone? Do you compare DMZ?
Yeah, okay, hang on a second.
First person, third person. Like, where's the cutoff point for it? It does so much. Neon White again, different.
Sifu. I look for discrepancy's sake. Bayonetta 3 was the winner. I've got nothing really. I got nothing much to say about this category, though, man. It's so varied. Like, it's so indistinguishable as far as, like, you know, how different these titles are.
Yep.
I just don't know. I have nothing to say. I can't compare them.
Yeah, and Sifu's a brawler beat 'em up game, which is very cool. You know, it's got very cool combat and choreography and things with all its different characters and moves. A little bit disjointed in places, but it's very cool. And then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a 2D beat 'em up game. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
basically, yep.
Again, it's just like action game. You're like, okay, but I'm glad Bayonetta won. I think it does. It has its style there. It's not some recreation. It's done its style. It's done it really, really well. And it has some really cool fight scenes, like some really cool boss battles. So I think that definitely cool.
Fair shout. Yeah, fair shout.
What else we got here?
We're getting there.
We're getting there. There's so many Game Awards. Oh, they're about halfway through, I think. Getting there.
And so I'm looking at these. Some of these we don't need to talk about. Some of these.
Nah, we can just be like, all right, that's cool. Moving on.
Content creators, esports athletes. Anyway,
I'm not on this list. What the fuck? I got like 180 subscribers.
What a fucking sham! God damn it!
God damn it! I'm gonna throw my bottle at the screen. Cammy 2023.
Oh gee, no.
Best action adventure game. For the best action adventure game combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. And this one pisses me off.
Sorry?
This one pisses me off.
Go on. Hang on a second.
We've got A Plague Tale Requiem, God of War Ragnarok, which was the winner, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Tunic. And Tunic for one. Yeah. No.
Yeah, you can try. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
But God of War Ragnarok, the amount of stuff I've seen with people just complaining about the puzzle solving and the puzzle solving, where you walk into a room and then 10 seconds later the kid is like, it's there, and then you solve the puzzle, and you're like, oh, yeah, that must have been really good with traversal and puzzle solving. I am having a fun time.
Let me go beat some people up.
Yeah, let me go back to bonking. Yeah.
Back to bonking. And bonk Atreus back to fucking puzzle jail at that rate.
Mini bonk.
Yeah. But anyway, it's a again, more games that are just so vastly different. That sometimes I wonder what the legitimacy of these comparisons are. But anyway, here we are.
Yeah.
I
think Tunic gets a really good rap because it is that open world. It's got the puzzles that you need to figure out. Again, it's better played without a wiki as well. You just go in blind and enjoy the game for what it is.
Yep. Go in and just do it.
Yeah, I think that is really, really cool. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look at the other one. Stray had some really good puzzle solving as well. I think they're a little bit. The puzzle solving on it was pretty good. It obviously is very restricted because you are a cat
Yeah,
So
exactly.
a little bit restrictive there.
You're missing thumbs and stuff like that. A bit awkward.
Yeah, I think Plague Tale gets a good rap here as well, because a lot of the puzzles you kind of did have to figure out yourself. They're not too difficult, but it did allow you to progress the story. But yeah, obviously God of War is probably letting the action kind of push that award more than the adventure side of it, I think.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, the adventure sort of comes in. They go on a lot about puzzle solving and stuff like that. I think the exploration of the world in its more hand-holdy style, I think, is what brought it over here. The fact that you are traversing a world, you are solving puzzles here and there.
Yeah.
But like God of War's world, and again, I haven't played the full thing yet, but so far it's been pretty bloody immersive. So it's
can't take away from anything from that. It's just the thing that pissed me off, I think.
no, understandable. The next one here, best RPG. So best game design with rich player character customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. Here you've got Elden Ring, Live Alive? Live.
Yeah.
Pokemon Legends Atreus, aka 3 FPS simulator, Triangle Strategy. Sorry, I had to get it in there.
No,
and
Arceus is not the latest one. That's Scarlet and Violet. Arceus, I think, didn't it run well?
Oh, my apologies. Well. No, I'm sorry. I'm miscategorizing my Pokemon games. Clearly, I'm not a Pokemon player. My apologies, everyone. Roast me down below.
Yeah.
And then Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Obviously, Elden Ring 1.
This is like a pro footballer playing against, like Lionel Messi playing against a bunch of teenagers. That's basically what it looks like in terms of this. Like Live Live is a remastered reboot of a Super Nintendo game, which is like, it can do it really well, and it didn't even do that. From what my reviewer friend reviewed for the game, but it's definitely a mixed bag there. We've got Pokemon Legends Arceus, which tried to do kind of like, I guess, what Breath of the Wild plus Pokemon stuff, and it reviewed fairly well. And it was released at the start of the year, which makes me question a lot of why Scarlet and Violet was so poo. But I guess it's like, well, he had such a short development time. Maybe he had two different studios or different focuses. But Arceus came out in January, and then Scarlet and Violet came out last month and was pretty dog shit. So well, the game itself was fine. It's just it ran like poo. So take that issue.
And if it's not going to run well, then why even bothering at that point?
Never heard of Triangle Strategy.
No, neither.
But it looks like a old kind of Final Fantasy Tactics-esque game, which actually looks fairly cool. Made by Square Enix. I can see myself playing this, and it looks fairly cool. It is $80 though, so it's currently on sale, 40% off, where I might actually pick it up while it's on sale. But it reminds you like the Final Fantasy Tactics, but turned up to 11, and I'm just very much a fan of those games. So but it's nothing, unfortunately, compared to that. And Xenoblade Chronicles 3 as well. Best fighting game, Johns. Now there have not been a lot of fighting games in 2022.
I don't play fighting games in the first place, so I'm pretty much as useless as tits on a ball for this one.
The only one around head-to-head combat.
The only one I'm vaguely familiar with is Multiversus, which
is the winner. So you had DNF Duel, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, All-Star Battle R, The King of Fighters 15, Multiversus, and Sifu. And this one's tricky as well, because Multiversus, I don't like, because I've played a little bit of it. And I don't know, it kind of rubs me the wrong way. Really? I'm more in the Smash, Tekken, a little bit of Street Fighter side of things. And I don't know, to me, it just seemed like the hitboxes aren't very clean. The action flow is not very clean. But this is me comparing it to something like Smash Bros, which I feel is very tight. And then it's just the whole, it's free to play, but like the whole battle pass thing, and they just kind of released it, so it's still finding its feet.
Yeah,
if they
okay.
released it in its state and then just kind of left it, it probably wouldn't even be close to what it is. But they've been working on it, so
right.
I don't know.
Interesting, very interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and again,
Yep.
Sifu was like a single player game, so like, how do you compare the two? Because you've got other people's inputs and network code and things like that.
Another comparison of apples and oranges there, which is pretty common at these game awards, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but you know, it's a fighting game, and there haven't been that many, so maybe they're just scraping the bottom of the barrel and going,
Maybe that's a fair shout, actually.
How do you pick 5? You know, some of them it's really hard to fit 5 in. Other people are like, oh no, we need to grab something.
Quick,
it's been rated 60% on Steam. Get him.
Forget the tongs. Get the fucking net out. Catch it all.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well,
there are so many games. Holy shit.
Oh, I know, right?
Oh, we're getting there.
In that light, you've got best family game here, which
From fighting to family.
From fighting to family, fighting the family
with family.
Yeah. So in this platform or in this category, so you had Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. I know you've got strong opinions on that one.
Hate that fucking game.
Mario Rabbids Spark of Hope, Nintendo Switch Sports, and Splatoon 3.
Cool.
Yeah. The winner here was Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I've played one game on this list, and it was Lego Star Wars.
What are your thoughts on the video game?
on the video game of all time? I haven't actually gotten very far, I'll admit. I've maybe gotten halfway through episode 1, and that's it. I've just not had the time. What are your thoughts on the video game?
I despise it. It is boring as shit. It runs like arse. And it's just not engaging. It is not a proper retelling of the stories. And like the sequel movies are already shit. But like the games just take so much out of it already. And it's just boring. There are so many. When you've only got like 5 little episodes or 5 little 6 little levels to tell an entire story, I get that it's kind of difficult, but you have like entire sections which are just on-rail shooters and buggy on-rail shooters as well, and it's just oh my god, I forgot this game came out and I did a review video on it. I kind of just tried to drink bleach and erase it from my mind. And I got it for did I get it for free? I was offered it for free, but I bought it, I think. I can't remember.
I think I remember you mentioning to me this to me. Yep.
It was back and forth between the thing, and I was like, well, I'm glad I did buy it, so I didn't get fucking
But
man, that game's bad. And I don't know, people seem to like the review and being like, why is no one talking about this? I was like, exactly. You just see Lego and go, ooh, Lego game, it's fun. It's for children. And I was like, well, yes, there are other video games that are made for children like Kirby and the Forgotten Land, but they're actually fucking good.
Yep. Which is why Kirby won.
And Splatoon is cool too. I really like Splatoon. I think it's capitalized a lot of the changes in the series. And it's even got competitive modes and stuff, but it is not necessarily, I don't think it's necessarily a family game. No. It is like almost like a third-person competitive shooter. So I don't know how you would describe it. I think it's just best Nintendo game. There you go. That's what this is.
Well, which is funny, because then you got Nintendo Switch Sports on here, which I've yet to play, but obviously it's Nintendo Sports. Cool as hell, and they do it very, very well. But it's very similar, I think, to
the bowling.
Oh god! All right then. Well, bowling's my favorite fucking game mode, so now I'm not buying it.
I think because they try to enable online, but not everyone can bowl like at the same time or something. You have to
for God's sakes,
take turns, but in line, so he's just standing there for most of the time, going.
Yeah, right, okay. But anyway,
sorry.
So no, you're right. No, fair shout. It's very similar to I think VR, where Nintendo Switch Sports is not really a game per se. It's just a bunch of experiences that you sort of come to for a while, go, fuck, that was fun, and then I'm going to go leave and do something else. So it's not a game you grind or a game you work through a narrative on.
You don't pay 20, 30 hours of Nintendo Switch Sports unless you're sponsored or something.
And even then, I wouldn't take that deal, man.
Probably wouldn't take that deal either.
No, God, no.
Mario and Rabbids Spark of Hope, from what I saw one of my friends play through most of that game, and they seemed to really enjoy it. I liked it as well. It's a kind of that Final Fantasy Tactics. It's more XCOM. If Mario and Rabbids made an XCOM game, it's that, where you can have 99% chance to hit with a shotgun in their face and still miss. It's hilarious. That's so great. It. But it seemed to be very tight in the way it did things. It allows for a freedom of strategy and a different bunch of options. I would probably say that would be contender along with Kirby, but I guess Kirby won out in the end. So
yeah, exactly. No, fair shout.
And it's very pretty too. Both of those games are very pretty.
I'm just looking at the screenshots. It does look very pretty.
Yes.
So, yeah, no, credit where it's due.
This one's more up your alley, going from, family game to more sports and racing. I'm really going to see only one of these games. Again, this feels like one of those games where it's, who's a race driver? I don't know.
Yeah.
One very, very, Mark Scaife versus a bunch of kids in go-karts.
Hey, he did it. Right? Well done. He did it.
I did it. I know that era of racing, but I don't know the new stuff. But yeah, Peter Brock or someone, best racer of their time versus a bunch of kids in go-karts, and that's what I feel this one kind of is. Because the only one I really know from this list is FIFA, and FIFA this year has been dog shit. So next,
every year has been dog shit for the last few years.
No, it used to be good. Damn it, used to be good.
So on this list, you got F1 22, FIFA 23, and the fact that these are numbered after their years tells you that there's something wrong with this fucking side of the industry.
Correct.
NBA 2K 23, Gran Turismo 7, and Ollie World, which I'm not familiar with actually. What is Ollie World?
No, I'm gonna have to look this up.
I'm just looking it up now as well.
Sports video game developed by Roll7 as a third-person game in the Ollie series. Interesting.
So it looks like an indie
skateboarding action platformer.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, that's actually a pretty cool concept. I'm just looking at it now. It's actually got a really unique art style. It actually looks not too bad.
This looks pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay,
2D,
so
skateboardy stuff.
But as you said here, this is very much a David versus Goliath situation here, right? Because you've got these industry titans, and Gran Turismo 7 has come out with the victory, which I think is fucking fair, because it's the most innovative title on here that isn't just an asset flip every. Yeah, so, and like Gran Turismo 7, obviously it takes on board a lot of the same cars from previous years, but, they add new weather systems, they've added new day-night cycles, they've added, the graphics are better, of course they've improved the physics of the engine, that sort of thing. It really does change things up quite a bit, so I think it's only fair that GT7's one. I'm biased as hell right here, but I've been loving that game sick, and I've been playing
Oh, he's gone. Damn. No, I agree. I think when it comes to those racing games as well, it has to do these things really, really well. That face is fucking excellent. The only thing I would say is you froze as well. But I was just saying, I was wondering when Forza Horizon came out, because I think that was the end of last year. Because I was actually surprised that wasn't on the list. But I think it realized it came out the end of last year, then more than this year. So.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's been that long. Right. It's been a long 2022. Yeah,
it's been a long 2022. Yeah, no, that's pretty rough.
But no, you're right in saying that, and it has to get so many things right. And I guess the thing that it has going for it is it can just be a single player game, and the experience from it's just gotten really, really well. Where a lot of these other games like FIFA and NBA 2K23, you've got that online model, and FIFA especially, where like with its cards, like the FIFA Ultimate Team. Like the money grubbing there, which means things like I really only play the career mode side of things, so I play solo and I play a manager and I develop my little team of youngsters, and I'm like, cool, I'm gonna go up against Manchester, and I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be fucking terrible.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, like with GT7 as well. Yes, there are online races, and that's the main reason I play the game. I don't really care for the single player. I just like jumping on and doing a daily race. I don't know many cars, but every car in the game you can rent if it's in the category you're going to race in, right? So, if you see there's a car dominating the fucking leaderboards for the qualifying run, you can just go rent that car. And as well, on top of that, all of the performance balancing, all of the tuning you can do is equalized. So there's no balance of power issues, and all of that tuning side of the game, that car collection side of the game, that's all reserved for the single player, which I think is a really good way to equalize to add value to your single player side of things, but also to equalize out the multiplayer and still make it engaging for everyone.
And Forza Horizon won last year as well, just to clarify. So yeah, I'm glad.
That sounds
it won.
right. Yeah,
It's done everything a lot really, really well.
Yeah, exactly. All right then. Well, that moves us on to we're getting through this.
This one is weird, and
yeah, it is very weird.
When I saw best sim/strategy game, I was like, "You mean like simulator, like racing simulator? Okay, is Gran Turismo
like
going to be on this?
What about City Skylines?
But is it cooking simulator? We've got other games in there, but no, it's the best game focused on real-time or turn-based simulation or strategy gameplay, irrespective of platform.
Yep. So on here you've got Dune Spice Wars, which I must admit I've never actually heard of.
Only came out recently because of the movie and everything.
Yeah, of course. Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Total War Warhammer 3, 2 Point Campus, and Victoria 3, a game also I've not heard of before. It's such a diversified list, though.
There's so many different games.
To have 2 Point Campus and, Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope in the same fucking list. It's another one of those ones. How do you compare this?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I just don't know.
Yeah, no,
but they've done it, and I think maybe just the most popular in terms of appeal. Possibly with Mario and Rabbids Spark of Hope has taken the winner for that. And again, from what I've seen, it is very much it's accomplished its XCOM-y type gameplay and goals very, very well. From what I remember, 2 Point Campus didn't do as well as its predecessor as 2 Point Hospital. Because 2 Point Hospital did everything really, really well. And the way that it did its world and everything. It was a new concept that people hadn't really seen for a long time. But yeah, I don't know about 2 Point Campus. Maybe people don't feel as well with the university side of things as they do building a hospital.
Yeah, I think as well, 2 Point Hospital really captured, I think, the nostalgia that came from the original. I don't know if it was 2 Point Hospital, but the original, I forget the name of the game. The hospital, the goofy hospital game.
Tycoon?
That may have been it. I know there was a goofy version of it, which may have been it actually. But it was, it was like that. I know that game was like a memory unlocked when 2 Point Hospital was announced for so many people. So yeah, it's. I think there's a bit of a difference in reception there, just based on previous experience. To be honest,
I would also like to see, I guess, where this goes from here as well. Like they've done hospitals, they've done campuses. They've got to make the next one.
Yeah, what's next?
Like
police stations.
Police stations, like something that can be generic enough so that everyone can look at it, but then also customizable enough that everyone can make their own thing.
And goofy enough as well to fit the 2 Point
it is. It does have that goofy feel, and I do like that, regardless of the hospital or campus. It does have that goofy style, and it does have the cool characters and like the very, I want to say Play-Doh-esque building style and everything.
No, you're right, 100%.
From what I can see as well from 2 Point Campus, there's some reviews are saying that the game is more relaxing, which is nicer. There's less stress.
Okay.
And I guess that is probably because there's no people dying as much
there's no people in
campus as hospital.
True, it's a good point.
But it does lack the immersion because of that. It's more like you're just going through the motions. Someone said 2 Point Hotel. That could be cool.
I could dig that actually,
or something. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I could dig that. That'd be good. Yeah, no, I rate that big time.
You can make like a sprawling resort, or you can make like a super apartment block or something like that. Very cool.
Who
knows?
No, good shout. Good shout. But yeah, it's a very stark and contrasting category, that one, which moves us on to the best multiplayer game. Which
so does that mean that all the previous ones must have just been
surely not
solo, or are they literally just taking an element from these games and going multiplayer? Because again, once you said about the audio with COD, and then it's like, well, yeah, the footsteps are fucked. It's like, well, that doesn't matter in single player. So yeah.
Oh, surely not though, right? Like, I don't know, man. If you've got it, because there's no. All right. Yeah. Anyway, so this next one for outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective of game genre or platform. I feel like this once again just opens up the can of worms for far too many entrants into one area, right? So you've got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Multiversus 2, Overwatch 2, Splatoon 3, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge.
Yeah.
Like, what the actual fuck? Full transparency, Splatoon 3 won, which I have to be honest, it's hilarious that Splatoon 3 took out Call of Duty in the best multiplayer side of things.
I'm very surprised.
Is easy to get right, and they still were beaten out by Splatoon. That is funny to me.
And that's going with like Nintendo's janky netcode half the time as well. So
yeah,
on the Switch,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Multiverses again had the same issues I was saying before. Overwatch 2, well, there's just too much shit in that. Like, I think it's done really, really well if you just take it in an echo chamber of just the video game. They've made a lot of good changes to it, but they've also made the UI terrible, and it is focused on skins and the store because it is free to play, and skins aren't great. And if that the new guys are all weird.
They're locked behind paywalls. Or
so if you're compassing everything of that into the multiplayer, or you just exactly, like how you
how's
is it just the shooty bang? Is it just the gameplay? Was it the entire experience? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you were to do that alone, then sure, Overwatch 2 is a competitor, but as far as an overall product is concerned, no fucking way does it win.
Yeah, because you've got Call of Duty, and then does that include Warzone and DMZ modes? Or is it just the strict multiplayer, which was broken right on game launch? Like we were having issues with co-op party play where it crashed the game if you had three people, but not 2 or 4 in the party. My game, games were crashing in Warzone when it did launch. Buggy mess. But they've obviously it's fixed now. A lot of the issues are fixed, but when were they judging this? I guess is the question.
Yeah, I know. It leaves a lot to be worked out with these game awards, and I think that's why you got to take things with a grain of salt.
That's every game. That is the entirety of gaming.
Which it didn't fucking used to be, but anyway.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess there's some other categories that could be in there, but for the most part, like nothing. It was just Elden Ring. I mean, it's just Elden Ring and God of War. That's just what the game was. And then Horizon Forbidden West being like, "Hey, I'm here too."
It's like, that drowning kid meme. Like, that's exactly what happened.
All the awards with like holding him with with Elden Ring, God of War being like, and then Horizon just on the dead.
We've done it, boys. We've summarized the Game Awards.
Done.
I'm gonna go fucking post that meme tonight. You watch me.
Top of Reddit. There we go.
Yeah, let's go.
There are some other awards in here. Content Creator of the Year.
I could give less of a shit.
Esports Athlete of the Year. Again, how do you fucking compare? Esports Coach.
Event.
Best Event.
Best Esports Game. How the fuck do you
Best Esports Game.
You got Counter-Strike, Dota, League of Legends, Rocket League, and Valorant. So the only two that were really going, because Valorant won here, which means the only real competitor here was Counter-Strike, because that's the only one you can really compare it to. Like how do you...
Dota 2 is massive, League of Legends is massive, and Rocket League is not massive, but it's getting there.
For the best, it's the game that delivered the best overall esports experience to players, inclusive of tournaments, community support, and content updates, irrespective of genre. How do you judge that? How do you judge that?
The amount of numbers on a Twitch broadcast, obviously.
Got it. My bad. Yeah, sure. Then there was Best Esports Team, which you had teams from Apex, CSGO, League of Legends, Call of Duty, and Valorant. So shooter dominated here.
Yep.
Very weird. There's Most Anticipated Game here.
Which basically means who had the best marketing trailer, because that's the only thing you know about the game.
Who will get the best pre-orders, essentially.
Pretty much.
And which you've got Final Fantasy 16, Hogwarts Legacy, Resident Evil 4, Starfield, and The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, which
which was the
Zelda
winner.
Games, and I think Zelda games carry the most amount of weight behind them in that respect. So
I think maybe with Starfield, it's like they've been burned too many times with with the previous products. Like, it's taken so long to actually get them working.
Yeah.
And it's so far off in the distance because we've seen nothing about it. Where Breath of the Wild is recent. Breath of the Wild was amazing. Again, one of those genre-defying games.
Yep.
And Tears of the Kingdom, it's basically just been a teaser trailer, which obviously just generates all the hype possible. So I can understand why.
Mm-hmm. And then you got, what is it, Best Adaptation, which
is really cool. I like that. I think that this is a cool award because we've seen, because they're celebrating games-inspired project across entertainment, including TVs, movies, comics, and more, which we had Arcane for League of Legends, Cyberpunk Edgerunners, The Cuphead Show, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and Uncharted. So that would have been the Uncharted movie, but Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie as well, which apparently was decent. I think people liked it.
I heard all right things about it,
And the Uncharted movie, which I haven't watched yet, but it's on my list to watch.
Yeah. But Arcane for League of Legends came out for that one of the winner.
So good.
I don't think there's any debating that, to be honest.
Edgerunners is good, and it got me back into Cyberpunk. I'm like 27 hours through my latest playthrough since watching Edgerunners. It is hardcore.
Are you enjoying it this time?
And I'm enjoying it because it's not fucking breaking.
Cool.
Yes.
All right.
Like,
excellent.
It actually runs like a proper game, and the story is cool, and there's a lot to do, and I'm actually doing all the side stuff as well.
Yeah, cool. I need to go back and play it.
Cyberpunk Edgerunners is great. It is a really good show. It's got really nice characters. It does not stop. The action is just always on. There's feelsy moments in there. There's cool characters that get developed. There's awesome stuff. But Arcane is on another level. Like it is the art in it is amazing. The characters are believable. It doesn't drag too much. It has a cool villain. It's just the set pieces are just amazing. It's so good. It makes me feel things. It's 6 years in the making too, so it's gonna be one of those things that it's just so good. Oh, so good. I'm gonna rewatch that. It's gonna be amazing. Yep.
Get in there and enjoy it for the night, mate. Well, that does get us to the end of the game awards, though.
We have been talking for a while.
We have been. This has been a fucking long podcast. But in saying that, so I think 2 minutes left, baby, and it looks like our boy Musky Boy, if he's gonna stay true to his word,
listening,
is out of a job. Fuck. I hope. I'm just gonna just timestamp this moment in history here. Twitter is still installed on my phone. It still works. The next time you guys see us, that might not be the case. It's been real. Just saying.
It's just been real. Thanks, Twitter. You've been cool.
Thanks, Twitter. Thanks, Bluebird app. You've been good.
Good old Bluebird tweet. But that is the Game Awards. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in there that was to be expected. A lot of things that were obvious, and a lot of things that, I guess, as I said, it's like some professional playing against a bunch of teenagers. But I guess that is 2022 in a nutshell. It's been a little bit all over the place. It's been a long fucking year. And it's been good to see so many really, really good experiences come out of this as well. And
exactly.
So many indies as well. I've got a list of indies a mile long just to ready to play over the Christmas period. Or I'll forget all about all of that and start playing Persona 5 Royale now that it's out on Game Pass and on PC. So who the fuck knows?
Oh shit, that is true too. Yeah. No, point taken. My god.
I mean, 2022 for you was, shift in content as well. Trying to dive into the whole content space of Modern Warfare 2, and that whole kettle of fish.
To varying degrees of success. Yep.
Yeah, and we've actually had events that we can actually go to as well.
Yeah, that's it.
Praise PAX and for all it is, and next year I made a tweet about all the different places all the different events I want to attend next year. As well. And we had like 6 or 7 different events, which is going to be very expensive.
Yeah, I'm still trying to work out if I can afford it or not yet. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah, so a backpacker style single bed studio apartment style accommodation.
Let's go.
Organizing flights like 2 months in advance as cheap as possible.
Yep.
But that's
and
it. You
praying
do
to God
that
you don't
because
get
you
sick.
want to. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, masks everywhere. Yeah,
Yep.
mask up and all of that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly.
I don't think we've got too much time really to talk about. I guess the rest of 2022 that was.
Hold up. Yeah, no, we don't. We can probably save that for like next year in retrospect or something like that.
Yeah,
Which
year in review.
Next
Final results
next
has
podcast
been
will be
confirmed.
retrospective.
There we go.
So, is he resigning?
We have no idea.
Let me go find out.
The final results popped up with a 17.5 million votes in 24 hours, by the way.
Yep.
Should Elon step down as the head of Twitter? Yes has won with a 57.5% versus 42.5%. Yeah.
The fucking the engagement on this. Anyway, the engagement on this.
The most voted
tweet
poll in history of Twitter, I guess.
I'm just refreshing the page now, and I think I've seen maybe another 4,000 quote tweets come in on it. Holy crap, people!
Step down, fuckwit. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we've done pretty well there, mate.
Yeah, we got through it all. I'm keen to see. I guess to wrap it up. It's like, well, we didn't really talk about the thing that we're most excited for the next most anticipated game for next year as well.
No,
if they release,
Yeah.
Obviously,
I mean,
BattleBit's not on there, and I'm very mad about that.
Yes. No. Yeah. I think, ironically, BattleBit is probably up there for me right now. Like, I'm a shooter player. I like my shooters primarily, and there's just nothing else coming out that's even worth a fucking lick of my time. So I'm right there with you. I'm very much hoping that BattleBit sort of comes to the party and says, "Hey, how you doing?"
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty much in the same ball, and I think it will just be to early access as soon as, assuming that they get their the money that they need. Maybe they'll get picked up by a publisher as well. They could potentially do that. There are some really great indie publishers out there.
They have been talking about an announcement coming out this week, so I'm
you heard it here first.
Very, very hopeful that they've done some stuff. Like they've just added failover servers. Apparently, I'm just checking their Discord now. A lot of cool.
Yeah,
they're working very hard on the background here to make sure this game runs as it should at launch.
Yeah. And there is a stress test coming up on Friday, the 23rd of December. It's completely fucked for us Australians because mine's at 11:30 at night on a Friday, and well, I guess Cammy's will be at 12:30 Saturday morning. So before Saturday even starts, that's when he'll be playing.
I don't have a social life anyway. It's not going to change anything.
Christmas, who cares? It's there to play video games and chill out for the year that was.
Yeah, exactly.
In terms of next year, for me, I think I would probably be the most out of all of the anticipated games on that list. Final Fantasy 16, Hogwarts Legacy, Resident Evil 4, Starfield, and Legend of Zelda. I'd probably be on Starfield's side for things if I had to pick, but all of them I'm not super interested in, so me. I think it'd be interesting for me to see if Diablo 4 would be any good, regardless of how Diablo Immortal was shit and how Diablo 3 to me was shit. Maybe Diablo 4 would be different because I'm all about that dungeon crawler, Path of Exile, and all of that.
Yeah.
And I think the other one I was really looking forward to actually releasing completely is Baldur's Gate 3. It's in early access, and they're like, when it's done, you'll get it. But it is just one of those games that has a soft spot in my heart, so I think I'd be very keen to actually jump into that and check it all out.
And I'm glad there's that mentality of you'll get it when you get it. Like, that's good.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when it's done. Because at the moment, I don't want to burn myself out in early access, so I haven't got it. But when it comes out fully, that's when I'll buy it and I'll enjoy it from there.
Exactly. Which is a very, very fair shout.
Yeah. But Starfield, it looks cool. It does look cool.
Yeah. Does indeed. Does indeed.
Cammy, where can I find all of your stuff? And going into 2023, what are your socials now that we can't advertise them on Twitter anymore?
I was going to say, so noting that I'm actually allowed to promote my socials here.
Yeah.
At Kamikaze on everything that would be YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok. Once again, follow me on Twitter while Twitter is still alive, or maybe it's not by the time you guys are watching this podcast. We'll see what happens. Or if you want some dumb fun photography, which I'm actually charging my camera batteries now. I'm going to go out and do some more soon, just for funsies.
Best way to do anything.
At CamiCamera78 on Instagram. Koshi, where can they find you?
I am on everything. Get on OnlyFans, Feed Finder, all that stuff. Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Discord, whatever it is. Kochiefy, so Kochiefy for all that gaming content. This will probably be the last podcast for the year. And we'll reschedule stuff in the new year, which will be on the this. We'll see how that goes. Kind of give ourselves a break for the year that was 2022. Thank you very much for watching, and if you have subscribed or if you haven't, I still appreciate you listening us being stupid and having redundant opinions about everything and anything that we feel like talking about. I guess Ep 5 and that will probably be the same as it is right now, unless I really feel like changing things up, and we'll do it again in the new year. And then maybe we can even do one at PAX. I think that's probably my next goal, is doing a podcast at PAX.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Whether it's in a hotel room or if it's like in a booth, like an Audio-Technica booth or something, that'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah. And while it will be a new year, it'll be the same two idiots here talking and spewing shit. So that'll stay the same regardless.
Of course. Always good to have our stupid faces. No, still going to float around the internet doing our own stupid thing.
That's what we do, mate.
It's what we do. It's what we do best. Yeah. Thanks very much for watching, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are. Hit subscribe if you want to see all of our content. Hit subscribe to Cami as well. I'll leave his link down in the doobly-doo, as well as everything else that we've been talking about. And we'll see you next time. Hope you have a wonderful holiday period and a good start to 2023. All right.
Happy holidays, all.
Peace.
That was a fucking long one.
Was a long boy. That's once you get into those Game Awards, I realized how many there were. I just skip through all the content creators. Fuck them.
Oh yeah, no, fuck that. No way. I was like, no, we're not doing content creators on this bitch.
Yep.
God damn.